Is your partner struggling to accept your apology? You know, the word sorry is such a loaded word, and there's so many expectations behind an apology, and it's always not as simple as saying the word in order to get someone to forgive you. So, we're going to talk a little bit about the nuances and how to give an apology so that you can reconcile and move forward with the person that you love. My name is Leah Huynh. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I specialize in therapy for couples and people that want help with relationships. So let's get started. So the first reason why oftentimes apologies are not accepted is because of the way that a person is giving the apology. Oftentimes I hear in my practice, when someone is apologizing, the person receiving the apology will say, well, I don't receive the apology because it's fake. And what they mean by that is sometimes the person wants to be good again with you, or they want to have a better relationship, but they don't really feel or understand what they did wrong. And so they're just saying, sorry, like, I want to get you off my back and I just want to move forward from this. I don't want to look at what I've done. I don't want to understand you. I don't understand you and I don't care to understand you. I just want to sweep it under the rug and be better. And that's the way that I can feel when someone is not truly apologetic. A lot of times it's actually a way of avoiding, right? Because they feel like, well, if I can just say sorry, then I can avoid having to have a conflict, having to really talk something out, having to understand my partner, having to understand myself. So my advice is, I'm glad that you want to move forward, but know that a simple sorry does not always help, and in fact can make the situation worse. So I would encourage you to figure out why is it that you're not sorry? What is it that you don't understand? Are you afraid of arguing again? Bring those things up and bring those things to light, and that will help the situation. So when you do say sorry, it will come from a sincere place, and your partner is more likely to accept it. So the second reason that I hear a lot in my practice about why people don't accept apologies is because oftentimes people feel like an apology is followed by the word but, right? So I'm sorry that I did this bad thing, but this is why. And that can make it feel like they are not truly understanding, again, of why what they did was wrong, because they're just saying, well, I'm justifying what I did. I'm sorry about it, but I'm justifying why I did it, and therefore it's okay. And that just doesn't feel good to someone who's listening to it. So for example, saying, hey, I'm sorry I was 2 hours late to that event that was really important to you, but I was really busy that day and you're always late, but I never say anything. And so there you go. And you can see how that doesn't really feel good, right? So I would say oftentimes when you are giving in an apology, stop at the apology. Do not add the word but. I don't know how many times I hear the word but, right? And so keep it just at the apology and then period. The other reason that I hear people not really accepting apologies is because oftentimes it feels like the person apologizing is making it about themselves and they're not making it about the other person. So they may truly feel bad about it, but the focus is on what they did wrong and how they're a bad person, not on how the other person is feeling and how they want to be a better person for their partner. So for example, I hear this a lot when there's cases of infidelity where the man will say, I'm so sorry that I cheated on you. I'm a horrible person. I don't know why I did it. I'm so selfish. And they're just sort of stuck in this like downward spiral. And the wife is over here like, hey, like, what about me? Like, do you understand anything that I went through? Or is this all about you and how you feel bad about yourself? Now, I think there's a place for the person who feels bad to have regret and to feel sorrowful, but I don't think that should be the focus and where things should end, right? I think that, and especially when you're communicating an apology to someone, the focus should really be on, this is what I did and this is how it hurt you, and I understand that and I feel really sorry about that. The other thing that I want to add about apologies is that when you are saying sorry and it is heartfelt, you want to follow it up with a plan of what you want to do differently next time, right? Don't just say, well, I'm sorry because I hurt you, and I know that that was really important to you, and I'm really sorry, period, right? You want to add something like, I'm really sorry that I did that, and I understand why. And then you want to follow it up with, and this is what I want to do better next time, or this is how I want to be better, or this is what I plan to do to grow, right? That just sort of adds like the cherry on top to the apology, because it not only shows that you feel sad about what happened and that you understand what your loved one has went through, but also you want to make efforts to change that, because that's really at the end of the day what the other person is concerned about. So that transitions into my next point as to why sometimes apologies are not accepted. And that's because it's not an issue of the apology or the communication, it's something underneath that. It's an issue of trust, right? So a lot of times people will give apologies and expect to be forgiven when they have not changed their behavior, right? So they're saying, wow, why can't you just forgive and forget? And the other person says, well, I have forgiven you, but I feel like you keep doing the same thing to hurt me over and over again. So I have no choice but to protect myself. I cannot accept the apology, right? So I think if you are somebody that is expecting someone to receive an apology when you have not done the work to change yourself or to show that there's progress, then it's going to be really hard for the person to accept the apology, because they're going to feel like, well, it's just empty words, right? And what happens to me, because I'm just going to be hurt over and over again. So hopefully that was helpful for those of you that are trying to make your relationship better. If you want to learn more about the work that I do, if there's something that can help you in your situation, you can check out my website. You can subscribe to my channel. There's lots of videos that I have on my channel about making a relationship better. I also have a free course that I offer about communication and how to argue smarter and how to argue less. So go ahead and click the like and subscribe, go to my website, grab my free course, and I'll see you next time.